One of the thought processes running in my mind and that I have struggled with. I would want to ask you how that works. Um, in this tug of war between ourselves, our good and bad sides, if I were to call them that, there is actually no good or bad side. I'm saying just two sides of some kind. One having a particular point of view about the world, which is real time, which is what it is. It could be good, bad, ugly. Uh, I might uh, I might be enticed by some kind of food, and I know that I'm completely attached to that kind of food. And the doctor says that you're not supposed to do this, and not consume it beyond a certain point. Or rather, I, for my own spiritual, like I have a meditator friend who's struggling with non-vegetarian for a couple of years, and he always keeps talking about it whenever we speak. And I find it like amazing that he's been trying to work on himself, but this is one thing that he's unable to unravel. Without getting into the particularity of non-veg, veg, and those kind of things, I'm just giving that as an example. When there is this tug of war within us, and whatever resolutions you found, is there a pattern to them? Uh, is there anything in particular that has told you, okay, like I'll give you an example again about myself. Initially, there is a lot of cleverness to the approach that one has to any problem. You try and solve it through various means that you have. You know, talking to people or coming up with solutions or reading upon it or doing this or that. But oftenly, the tricky ones are the ones that don't get resolved with all these regular ways of solving it. And very early, I understood as a writer in the creative process also that unless you let go of the burden to solve it, it's not yours. Sorry, it's come to you. There is some learning in there for you, but you have to get out of the way. So very often, I found that it worked for me when I had this sense of let go. So, is there any modus operandi that you find helps you, or is there anything that you particularly do as a thought process, or you study it in a certain manner? Is there anything that you want to talk about, or is there any fixed way of doing things, or not at all?
Um, I feel I typically don't beat myself if I'm unable to do something. And I forgive myself. Okay, this time you couldn't do it. Try again next time. And I believe the change has to be, it has to evolve organically, like initially my husband did not, I'm just giving you an example. He said, stop eating rice. He just said, stop eating rice. And, just at one go, all your life you've eaten rice, and then suddenly you cannot stop it. So we used to have a lot of arguments regarding that. But then it's, slowly until I understood, how bad it was and all that. And then I changed. And that is just an example which I give, which I do it for everything. I feel I'm very forgiving of myself. If I make mistakes, I forgive myself.
Okay. So, you guys don't eat rice anymore.
No, we do eat. Of course, even he has evolved since then. But not as a staple diet, not like day in and day out how it was before.
Yeah, okay. By the way, this part was sponsored by a rice brand.
That is just an example I gave.
Yeah. Um, No, I want to go a little more deeper than that. Uh, Habit patterns sometimes are they are good manifestations to check. But sometimes the problems are far more subtle. So, for example, you know something is not good for you at all. Say you don't, like, I have not been exercising at all. I'm in a very lethargic space for a long time, and I have all kinds of excuses for it. And I keep, when I'm unwell, uh, I go to the doctor and take some pills, and I'm okay. So the doctor has been advising for a while now. So, do at least I like to walk very leisurely. So he said, no, have a brisk walk, jog sometimes, do different kinds of things. And it's not that I haven't started. I start couple of days, I am like on it, and then 3, 4 days down the line again something is lost, and again I pick up the. I realize in my mind there is no such point that I want to do it. It's always like an outside push that's happening, and I'm working to get my mind to get into that place where I want to do it. After that, it's not a problem at all because then it becomes enjoyable because it's your decision. You back it up even if there is a problem and stuff like that. So trying to figure out that space. I have some physical problems in terms of um, timing clash with my sitting. And I don't know how to figure out that time. So it is there. It's not that it's not there, but I haven't even got down to. I'm like I've given it up. Like okay, there's no time in the morning. I can't do this, and why should I not? So it's always either or. So some days if I actually go for my walk, then I am unable to sit because the timing is clashing. And I've tried waking up early, but I don't. I sometimes sleep late, so there's no rhythm to it. So my question comes from there: the mind space. Forget the physicality of the problem that I just mentioned. The mind is unhappy about the fact that I should be in a particular manner. It is also accepting of the fact that I am not. So how does one, if you have a problem like that, how do you deal with it?
Um, no, to be honest, I had the, I can relate to this because on many occasions I have been like, what you just mentioned. I think that is where meditation helped me a lot,
Okay.
uh, where I became more mindful of what,
Ah,
I think mindfulness helped me fill in that gap between I should do and I have, like, you know, that confusion in the mind, that gap. Mindfulness was very helpful. So I accepted that, yes, okay, I have to do this, but I don't right now. I'm not able to do it. And then when I kept observing myself, it's like every time I would come up with a reason, and then I realized it was just me being plain lazy about not doing it. So that's when that habit pattern I could change.
yeah, that's a good answer. Sorry, you finished, I presume.
No, I think you know meditation. So our daily practice initially, I the same thing. Laziness was a big issue. I didn't want to meditate. I was lazy. I kept giving reasons. I knew I had to do it, but I wouldn't. But then just being mindful was very beneficial. It helped me come out of it.
Yeah, you've given me quite a bit of food for thought on several little points that I want to look into myself. Uh, it's a different conversation from the others that I've had so far. Uh, while the vulnerable me has been a wonderful series in terms of all guests opening up, but with you, I've had the privilege of sticking to one point and trying to dig in what we can get out of it. So thank you so much for being such a sport about what otherwise is a very sensitive topic. I hope all viewers gain out of this and may all share the merits of our little bravery that we've tried to show on camera.
Sure. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.